In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this really springy wreath using all items from the Dollar Tree. So stay tuned and I will show you how to do it.
All right, let's get started. So first off, what you're going to need is one of these green foam wreath forms from the Dollar Tree. I ripped the tag, I'm sorry. 9.8 inches. You're also going to need some of these flowers from the Dollar Tree. These are crocus. And yes, I'm using the crocus instead of tulips. Number one, because they look like baby tulips. Number two is I have a bunch of the Dollar Tree tulips here. And if you're going to use the Dollar Tree form, you see how big these are? And they're actually way too big for the frame. So we're going to be using this. I've got like 50 something bundles of these over here. Now, for this wreath, I'm going to use 12, okay? Because I want a little bit more flowers on this one than I made on a previous one. And let me show you what I mean by that. This one here, I was just playing around. I know the colors are all messed up. I was just playing around to see how many bundles I would need. Now this one has 10 bundles. And I want a few more flowers on here, so I want to up that to 12. But if you don't have that many, this is what one with 10 bundles will look like. So you're going to need 12 bundles of your flowers. You're also going to need some U-shaped floral pins. Now, Joann's and Michael's does carry those little U-shaped floral pins. They're really popular right now with the tulips coming out. If you cannot find them, let me tell you something else that you can use. Y'all know that I used to sell a lot of jewelry. I did a lot of jewelry shows, and I've used these pins for many, many years. They are the same thing. These are prong pins. This particular kind came from Joann's. And you use these, like when you're hanging necklaces and stuff on your displays, you just use these pins to push through and hold them on. They work the exact same way as floral pins. You'll need one pin per flower. So get 1 or 2 boxes of those if you cannot find the floral pins. You're going to need some wire cutters as well. So let's take this off, and I want to start off with these right here, and I'm just going to move the leaves up just a little bit. And I'm not going to cut the stems really long, but you need to cut them long enough so that your pins have something to hold on to. And we'll try to just move the leaves behind the flower like that. And I thought I had some pins out. I did not. I am sorry. Okay, one of these pins. Now the trick here is you want all of your flowers going all in one direction. So I'm going to start on the very top of my wreath form here. Hold it down like this, and then just take the pin, and you see how I have used it to sandwich the stem of the flower in between. I'm going to throw it onto the table. I've got this going in at kind of an angle, okay? And then just push it down on there, and it's going to hold your flower pretty tightly. Now, I've not ever had a problem with my flowers coming loose or my pins coming out when I've used these to pin other types of flowers. If you're afraid of that happening, take some hot glue. Just dip the ends of your pin in the hot glue before you stick it into the foam, and it just gives you a little bit more stability. We all need more stability in our lives. Let's go and try this yellow one. And basically, all that you're going to do, you are just filling up this form with your flowers all in one direction. If you don't like as much greenery as was on the other one, just cut off 1 or 2 of these leaves and just lay them down that way. But keep in mind, if you cut off leaves, you're going to need more flowers, okay? I really, honestly, I don't like the wreaths that have just a ton of tulips and hardly any greenery. I don't like those for some reason. Sorry if you do, I don't. So I'm probably going to take off just a few of these leaves, but not a lot, because I still want to have a ton of greenery on here. And all I'm doing is just alternating the colors. That's all that you're going to do. Just lay your flowers down and alternate them. And now you see how the stems on this one kind of crisscross? You can take your pen and just capture both of those stems together, and you're providing a lot more security by doing it that way as well. So, you know, just however you want to put your pins on there. There's no rhyme or reason to this. You're not going to screw it up. Just keep putting your flowers on the whole wreath form with them all facing one direction, okay? Now, while I'm doing this, a lot of people have said, oh, those flowers don't look like the real crocus. Yes, they do. If you've ever grown crocus, you know that right before they bloom, they look like little miniature tulips. So these look pretty close. Another thing about crocus, which I grow some myself, I really like them. Now, if you see them growing out wild, like in a meadow or something, those are usually called fall crocus, and those are poisonous, so don't mess with those. But you can actually grow saffron crocus, and when they bloom, they'll have 4 little red stamen on the inside. That little stamen is actually harvested, and that is where you get the spice saffron. So, I am going to continue on with these flowers all the way around. I might pull those apart just a little bit more. I don't like how tight they're looking. But that's the thing with crafts. You can just mess with it until it looks the way you want it to look. So I'm just going to continue all the way around with these flowers. And then I will come back when I get to the end and show you how to kind of work them in there to make it look fairly seamless. So hang on just a minute. Okay, so I am kind of sort of coming up on the end here. As you can see, here is kind of like where I started, and they're all going this way, and then this is where I ended, and now we have this gap here. It's going to be a little tricky to get these in there, but just do the best you can. As you can see, I'm just kind of, I need a light purple one. Where's one of those? Here we are. Just kind of put them in there the best way that you can. I have to move some of these out of the way and just cram the little darlings down in there. There we go. Now we're going to fill in this hole here. Yeah, that looks okay. So that's basically all that you're doing at the end, is just really trying to fit these down in there. And like I said earlier, if you're concerned about your pins not holding, you can dip the ends in hot glue and then stick them on there, and it really gives you a lot more stability. But let me see, I've not really had that problem. Now a lot of people, they use the round wreaths that you can get at Michael's and Joann's, where they're flat. They're like not really rounded like these are. They're flat, and then they wrap them with ribbon because the wreath forms are white. You can wrap this with ribbon if you want to, but I really don't see the purpose in that because the form is green and it blends in really, really well. So I have just a handful of more flowers. I have almost used all 12 bundles. And you can see I just kind of have just a handful left. So I'm just going to take those and just take a step back and see if there's like any little spots that I think might need a flower. That looks okay. And just stick them all in there. You can add a bow to this if you want. I saw on Pinterest someone had put a bow on theirs. It was kind of cute. But anyway, this is what I have. I'm going to go back, maybe put one here and a few other little places. Like I said, I like all the greenery. If you don't like as much greenery as this, just take your scissors and pick a few leaves here and there and just trim them out. But that's what I have. If you would, please give this video a thumbs up. Click subscribe. Check me out on other forms of social media, the links to all of which will be in the description box down below. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye-bye.